Hello, everybody. What's up?
Hello, everyone.
What a world.
What's up, y'all?
Welcome to the 4040 Network. And I don't know what happened on my end, but something went poop poop. Hopefully, y'all can see me.
We can see you.
Y'all can see me.
We can see you. We can see you. We can see you.
But here we are. Welcome back. Welcome back to the 4040 Network. I am your host, Granny She Is, or you can simply call me Cheryl. Whatever floats your boat, whatever tickles your fancy, we are here. And tonight we're talking about fair or foul. And we're going to be talking about how we treat our children, the rearing of our daughters and our sons. But before we get into all of that, please do like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell your mama, your daddy, your sisters, your brothers, your friends, all about the 4040 Network, the podcast where we talk about life after divorce and how to move forward successfully. And actually, any life-changing event, just come get with us, okay? But before we get into all of that, co-host, do your thing.
Hey, y'all, what's up? It's Big J Hawk. I am in the house, hailing from the Dallas area, and I'm gonna kick it over to my homie, Big Whoa.
And coming in live from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, residing in ATL, Hawk. That boy Whoa. What's happening, man? It's good to see y'all. Damn it, it's good to see y'all.
Hey, it's good to be seen. It's better to be seen than to be viewed.
Seen than to be viewed. Okay, I missed y'all. Did we talk last week? We didn't. Hey, man, we didn't talk last week. We didn't shut it up. We didn't shoot the shit. What's going on in the world?
Life has been lifing. It's like I'm like, shit, who the hell is playing Jumanji? Shit is just happening every day. So I'm just like, God,
not Jumanji.
Yeah,
I don't know. We live in the ghetto, America.
America is ghetto.
Listen.
10 out of 10. Would you recommend?
No, absolutely not. Listen, the world is ghetto. It's not just us. It's not just us. Okay, it's the whole world. We just happen to be trapped in this ghetto version of it. In this part of the world. Anyway, what did the president do now?
He said President elongated muskrat.
True.
And the first lady,
and despite their own problems,
Danita J. Trump.
Okay, well, tell us what's going on with them. Y'all give us an update of what's going on, because I personally have not been watching the shit show that is politics in America. So anybody else, y'all, what's going on? Y'all hit me with it.
Well, what what ain't going on? Basically, there are the repeals of everything that we have. Of all that we have transpired and become as a country, the repeals, they continue by the dumpster. I mean, the Trumpster, Stir Orange a lot. That guy. He is doing everything he can to tear this country apart and take us back to an era that I don't think none of us are ready for. You know how we was young? And we saw things taking place in the 50s and 60s, and we said, if it had been me, if it had it, but you about to
get your chance.
You about to
get your chance.
From it being you. You really are.
We are back in the 50s, y'all, in case we didn't know. So the repeals, as far as the assault on the Department of Education, on so many different offices. One particular federal judge, standing up to the president, saying that what he's done is unconstitutional and that he has to hire back all of those probationary and federal workers. And of course, oh my gosh, the Trump administration is saying, how can a federal judge overrule the president of the United States? Is called something you should have learned in school. It's called checks and balances.
Thank you.
That's what it's called. And that's something you should have learned in school. Donita J. Trump is not an emperor. He is not a king. His word does not go. And the consolidation of power in the executive is something that should not happen. And we need to fix it. And the Democrats that are sitting on their butt not doing a thing, I say to hell with them. I think we need a third party because they are doing absolutely jack shit.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. Every time I hear Bernie
we don't know
Sanders,
that. Only thing you really see is what you're seeing on social media.
Oh, but they keep confirming
What'd you say, Wayne?
these picks.
I think we started talking
They
at the
keep
same
confirming
time.
these picks.
so every time I see or hear Bernie Sanders talk, I just get sad, and I also get
Let's
angry
see.
because he was there, and y'all didn't choose him because you was worried about age. He made all the sense in the world when Bernie was running, and they said, "Well, he old now. We don't know what's going to happen in 4 years." And Bernie, honestly, he's always been. He kind of like Morgan Freeman. He always been old. Like it is what it is. I don't remember seeing a young, even when they go back to the 70s and show a young Bernie Sanders. He looked
still had
old.
gray hair.
He got a little darker hair.
It's dark gray then. It's dark gray.
Yeah. So, but he's still out here fighting. He's still out here making sense of everything, any and everything. He actually has a plan. That's another thing that should piss you off if you're somebody who voted and feel like you lost in this election, because we voted for somebody who was talking about a plan, and the person who won the election never had a plan
Didn't
at
have
all.
a plan.
They all kept saying
he had a plan.
Policies.
It's 2025. That's the plan. He didn't want to announce it.
He spoke nothing about a solution or resolution of any sorts about anything. He just wants to tear everything down. He's gonna figure it out as he goes. Sir, this is not how the government is supposed to run. There has to be a plan, there has to be an execution. So when I listen to Bernie talk and I hear him talk about plans.
Can y'all see me now? Am I still glitchy?
No, we see you.
Yeah.
Am I delayed still?
No.
I said, am I delayed still?
No.
I'm good or I'm delayed. I don't know which one.
You're good.
You're good.
Oh, all right, cool beans. All right.
So yeah,
this is what I was gonna say because I think my thing is doing whatever the hell it wants. Is it doing it again?
A little bit.
Let's see here. Hold on.
But what I was saying was just like I just see this and I said he talks about plans and how to execute those plans, and I just get sad because I'm like, it could have been us.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. His plan was actually Jesse Jackson's plans when he ran in the 80s.
Who's playing Bernie's?
Yes. Go back and do some checking. The things that he's saying was what our boy was saying in the 80s when he tried to run for president.
Jesse wasn't a trusted source. That's the problem. If I'm being honest, that's just what it is. Jesse wasn't a trusted source. Like we wanted to believe Jesse
keep hope alive.
Yeah, we wanted to believe he was who he portrayed himself to be. But the problem was Jesse was a little sloppy and some of his dirt was being exposed to. You know, back then when that mattered, all of a sudden now that don't matter. Because you can still be the president with even more dirt under you. But anyway.
And with felonies.
I digress. But
look, and with felonies. 34 of them to be exact.
All of them, you know what I'm saying? So it was, you know, might have been the right message. It was the wrong messenger. You know.
Now, so where are we now? What does that take us to now? And how do we overcome? That's really what we need to find out.
Well, first things first.
How do we get out of
minding our mother business?
We can't even mind our business right now. We gotta do something in order to
No, no, no,
It's
no.
here
What
for
I'm
us.
saying is we got to mind our business as first. You know how they, you want to be an activist and you want to go out and you want to help everybody, but they always say you got to take care of home first. Well,
Mm-hmm.
home for
Yep,
us first is the Black community.
that's true.
We need to take care of home first. Mind our business. If we don't like the police policing us, then we need to get to a point where we can police ourselves, which means we need to have brothers step up in our communities. We need to have sisters stepping up in their community. You know what I'm saying? We got to organize. Uh, we got to organize. We got to structuralize. We got to, you know what I'm saying? Do that. But we got to do all of these things. There she go.
This might work a little better.
But we gotta figure out how to um take care of home first. Like I said, with Cheryl, we talking about J Hawk asked me what do we do now as Black people. I said, well, it's very simple. You want to go out and you want to do for other people, but you can't do nothing until you take care of home. Well,
Right.
home for us is the Black community, so we got to take care of home first.
Very good.
Um, in our streets, in our schools, um, on the jobs. Okay, ain't got to do the union or nothing like that, but um,
Mm.
I mean, like, but we still need to have some kind of organization within ourselves. But first rule of business, when it comes to everything going on with the government, we got to mind our business first.
Right. That's the most important thing because in the news is going to show you only the view they want you to see. Remember a few shows ago we talked about psyops, you know,
Yep.
psycho what was that called? I can't even say it, psychological optics. So it's designed to keep you in a state of fear, in a state of panic and chaos. Trump and his ilk are going to do and say whatever they feel is necessary so that the Black community and other communities that they feel are disenfranchised can be further disenfranchised. Now, the executive branch of the government does not pass law, okay? That is for the legislature. Now, although the Republicans currently do have the House of Representatives and the Senate, they still don't have carte blanche to change the fucking constitution. As much as they would like to hand this over to their tyrant of a person, I think Trump will eventually fall on his sword, and so will Elon Musk. And you can see that just by the stock market alone. You can see that by what's happening with Elon's own personal businesses. And all of this stuff that they're doing, it's not even to find waste in the government. It's literally
It's,
to line
it's
their own pockets. At the end of the day, what they're trying to do is privatize America.
they taking
And
hits.
yeah, they're privatizing, trying to privatize America. And there's a saying in an old movie, a black and white movie from back in the day, and it says, when they came for the blacks, I did nothing because they didn't come for me. And they came for the Jews, and yet I did nothing because they didn't come for me. And then they came for the women, right? And then they came for all these other people. And finally they came for me. But there was no one to help me. And like all of these people in all of these FAFO moments, these Republicans um, are finding out that these changes that the current administration is making is affecting them too, because they thought that they were voting for Trump to hurt other people, to take away things from other people, other ethnic groups. But now they see that they too are affected. And it's like, oh, I didn't vote for this. No, you voted for it. You didn't vote for it to affect you. And if you can see, even though they're doing all of these things or attempting to, the black community at large right now is not the ones affected. He's talking about rolling back DEI and making all these changes for segregation and all of that. People who are in it to make money, those companies who truly are in it to make money, as Jonathan said, racism is bad for business. It absolutely is on a
Oh
grand
yeah.
scale. So he's just really talking, and for the media outlets that's pushing that shit, I would say don't even tune into them, because at this point, they are not here to serve you up of an agenda that can help you. It's literally They're part of the propaganda machine. I don't care if they're right wing, left wing, if all they talk about is Trump, 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 and all the negativity that's happening, and not really showing what Democrats are doing, or the Black Caucus, or all these other groups that are here to fight for the Constitution. And there are people in America and in Congress fighting for the Constitution and fighting for our rights. They're just not showing that part in mainstream media. So I know you were saying that you want the Republicans to, I mean, the Democrats to get off their asses. They are doing their part, but they're trying to do it the legal way. They're trying to follow the Constitution that's been put in place. They're not doing it the way Trump is doing it, which is underhanded. Somebody got to be on the up and up. Everybody can't take the low road, you
Well,
know?
here's the thing.
No. This is what I'm saying.
Go ahead,
I'm saying, thank you. This just for a moment. If they're really trying to fight Trump, then why are they going along with his cabinet picks? They're not fighting. They're not fighting back there. That is a big way to fight back, is not to confirm his picks, but they're doing it. So they're kind of complicit.
They're doing it. Who is they? The majority of Republicans, or you think the Democrats are also?
The Democrats can
the Democrats
fight.
are also in there as well.
Yes.
I don't believe that.
But they're not fighting it back on those cabinet picks. Just look to see.
What they did with Representative Al Green.
Oh,
definitely. His vote came back. That should have been everybody, each party voting for 10 Democrats. 10 went against.
Over for that.
They crossed over to the other side of the aisle to go against him when he said nothing wrong. See, my thing is this. This is what I mean by fight back. Like, the reason all of this is happening, right? Like you said, it's underhanded stuff that's taking place. But we're steady trying to play by rules that nobody else is playing by.
Well, what you gonna do? All you can do is vote in somebody else in 2026.
I get the legalities of it when it comes down to the voting side of it.
Right.
But there has to be some kind of uproar.
Okay.
There has to be somebody or a few somebodies, like Jasmine, what's her name?
Crockett.
Jasmine
Crockett.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We need more of her. More, and I don't mean just more of her voice. We need more members of that party like her. And I'm gonna stop saying we, because again, right wing, left wing, same bird. But there has to be some kind of pushback. Too many are too scared to tiptoeing around too many different things. I don't want my businesses to be affected.
They are quiet as a church mouse.
This ain't time to be, bro. Our humanity is at stake. Our livelihoods are at stake. This man is coming for everything that we know, love, have been raised and taught, and he's going to rip it back into a place that we've never seen before. Most of us have never seen before.
I mean, are you? It sounds like you've given up, like it's already happened. Like, okay, we're just gonna lay down and Trump do whatever.
I'm not saying it's already happened, but what I'm saying is
it's happening.
It is in the process of happening, because he's doing so much. He's putting so much in motion. He's hoping that you'll overlook this and stuff. Some things are going to slide through. And we're going to miss it by all the other distractions that are taking place. Bottom line is, there's not enough fighting back going on. I don't care if it takes verbal jousting. They can say whatever they want to say about CNN.
Why would we put it all in their lap? What are we going to do as the people?
That's why I'm saying. Why are other countries being louder than this one?
It's not that it's being louder than this one. Again, they're just not showing you all of that in the media. They're not.
But here's the thing. We don't have to rely on strictly their media. We learned that with the election. There has to be other ways.
It's protests going on in America too. Black people.
I'm not down that. I'm saying that there are other ways for it to be shown. It doesn't have to be just on CNN and MSNBC. Like I said, we learned the power of social media.
So here's the deal. What is going on besides the protest? The protest is an outward expression of rage, but then it also has to be coupled with with economic sanctions
There
from
is
the
an
black community or
organized
whatever
it's
against
a
these
Tesla
people.
and Target have been two of the biggest hits right
well,
now.
here's the thing. There is an organized effort nationwide going on right now, not a black effort, not a white effort, but an American effort. And it's been organized on Instagram. And I can't pull it up because I had to get on this on my phone. But they have targeted different big companies economically. This week and going into next week is going to be Nestle. Last week was Amazon. The week before that was Target. Upcoming is Walmart. So they're strategically hitting all of these businesses to hurt their bottom line. And it is working. There is a shift in that to force them to review their policies and where they're putting their money and to rethink why they are supporting this particular um, presidency. So there are things happening. Unfortunately, the wheels of change move slow. That's why Trump and his ilk are pushing out this psyop thing, this whole thing to make it seem like they're moving so fast and changing so many laws so quickly that you don't have time to react. But then you do have he's being sued. They're challenging all of these different executive orders he signed into law. They're challenging them in court. Courts move fucking slow.
Well, you know
Okay, and they're
what?
not going to move faster just because you say the Democrats aren't doing what they're supposed to do, and there's not enough. I don't see enough happening. Just because you don't see it happening, don't mean that people aren't fighting back.
I'll say this. I'll say that in
And I'm
Biden's
saying that because I don't
wisdom,
want people to lose hope and be thinking that you have to bow down to this tyranny because you
Oh no, no, no,
absolutely
no.
fucking don't.
I,
No way, shape,
what I'm
form, or
saying is
fashion. I'm not
this.
saying
Okay,
you gotta bow down to anybody.
right?
No, I'm
No,
No.
simply
listen.
saying
This
there
is
has to be more of an uproar, as in, even if I don't look for bigger organizations or whatever to do it, what am I doing? What are the people around me doing? What is my church doing? What is my community doing? Where is the noise that's being made? Because if we are just sitting around being quiet, like I said, that silence speaks volume to me.
I think it's happening on a local scale more than you know. They had
mm,
one group, I forget where, but they had like the Nazis walk in some neighborhood, and then they got the black community in that neighborhood have their
That was back
own.
in Ohio, and
That
that
was in
yeah,
was
yeah,
Ohio.
that was right there,
that was what
like
over a
That's
month ago,
Cincinnati,
currently
2
right?
months
happening
ago.
right now. They have their own things going on, and even little old Bogalusa, and they are organizing on the local level. And I think what you're going to begin to see is when these votes start taking place on the local level and the regional level and the state level, you're going to see the changes start to happen. Now,
You
unfortunately,
know,
we're
I'm gonna
not
say
in an
this.
election season, so you won't see it happen as soon. In the meantime, there are going to be smaller organized efforts in smaller places. I just think we don't see it on a grand scale because we're all in our own little silos, unfortunately.
Well, the fight is not happening so much as local; it's happening on a federal level with federal judges. That's what Biden did before he left. He appointed more black women and more women who were either to the left or left leaning to the presidency, to federal judgeships than ever, right? And
Mhm.
so it's these are that's the bastion of that's where problems are happening for Trump and his presidency with
Right,
those federal judges that are turning him back.
right.
So that's so but right now the legislature,
Mm.
House and Senate Democrats are mostly quiet. They
They
aren't
don't have
really
a lot of
giving
say or power right now. What do y'all want them to do? Other than scream and holler, I did see other Democrats other than Jasmine Crockett going in. It was one white senator. He's been out sick, but he's back, and he went in on um, the Republicans saying, "Why didn't you bring Elon Musk before the committee?"
Yeah, I
It
saw that and I
yeah,
well
loved it. That's what I'm
mm,
talking about. I need to see more
yeah,
of that.
yeah.
more of
He went
that
in.
and
I
less
need to see
of
more fire.
Chuck Schumer and his nine compadres that should have shut this government down. Should have. And made the Republicans come to heel, and they did because they were left out of negotiations altogether. But you had 10 of them,
Mhm.
9 plus Chuck Schumer, that crossed over in order to do the bidding of the GOP. So that's what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about those things. You don't see that on the other side. They stick together, right? It's the Democrats that you're always going to have a mansion. You're always going to have a
Wow.
cinema. You're always going to have those 10, right? That the Republicans know they're Republicans wearing a D. in some aspect, right? And so they know they can depend on them when stuff gets just sway their way.
Yeah.
You know what it's like?
What are they holding over their heads to make them sway it that way?
I was just gonna
But
say,
they,
you know what it's
it,
like? You ever seen those movies where you got the dope dealers and they talking about all the transport they need to do and the trafficking that they need to move. They say, hey man, but it's heavy on cops in this area. And you go, hey man, don't worry about the cops. They on our side.
Mhm.
And that's what it feels like when
yeah,
you're talking
that's what
about
it
the
feels like.
Republicans and the Democrats. The Republicans go,
Yeah.
ain't no way the Democrats gonna don't worry about the Democrats. We got some on our side. We good.
Yep.
That's because they
Mhm.
probably got
We
some dirt
ready to
on
do
them.
whatever we
I
want to
trust
do.
some of that stuff that happened back on Scandal and with B613 and how they had the dirt on everybody and they could swing a vote this way, that way, up or down. You got to remember,
Mhm.
like a lot of these people too, uh, it's politics, it's politics. And a lot of those politicians have their pockets lined by some of the same companies on both sides, whether it's Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. The, excuse me. Sometimes their interests align based on what companies are lining their pockets, right? So it is a dirty business. My grandma said it always was, and she was right. We're gonna switch gears now because we can stay on politics all night. And I am determined during this 2025 year to focus on my world internally. I know what's going on externally with politics and all that, but internally I'm going to focus on what I can control because all that foolishness is going to be what it's going to be, and either America's going to get blown up and we're going to all die, or
Hope
life
not.
will continue no matter who's in
I,
office.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
know. Maybe I won't be here if that's the case because I
so
don't want to get blown up.
we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I thought it could never get worse than 9/11.
And
I thought
now
it could
we're
never
here.
get worse than 9/11. Now look at us.
2025 was like hold my beer.
Hold my beer, you know? And I never thought it'd get worse than Katrina. And I never thought it'd get worse than the pandemic. But here the fuck we are.
Here the fuck we are.
And every year, it's like the years are baiting on each other. It's like we started back there and the next year said, nah, you think you did some shit. 2024, you thought you had me. You ain't seen
Let me
shit
show
yet.
y'all how it's really done.
Right. Hold my beer, my tequila, and my holy water. Let me show you. And we're only in March, by the way.
Oh Lord.
Right? Cat Williams
God
started out
damn, I'm
2024
glad y'all
with the
set it off.
prophecy. And I feel like we done rolled into year one of
Oh, the
the
prophecy.
apocalypse.
Prophecy fulfilled.
Right.
That's what's happening.
Year one of the apocalypse. Here we are.
Two apocalypse.
Like I told Pop, before the election even was really like final,
Mhm,
I say, listen, I got a bad feeling about this. I said, but when we talk about the book of Revelations,
mhm.
for everything to fall apart, the wrong person has to be in charge.
Absolutely.
I was like, because I don't think that the way the world is going,
Mhm.
what happens under a Kamala Harris watch.
Absolutely not. No.
No, it won't. It wouldn't.
It has to take an absolutely destructive demon, someone who is ruthless, someone who doesn't like to be told what to do and really could care less. That's another thing, too, that is being shown. They are publicly saying, we do not care what the judges have ordered. We're still going. We have a job to do, and we're going to do it. They're saying this on camera.
Hmm. And what's crazy is this is the definition of pure evil because evil just wants to see people hurt for the sake of seeing them hurt. It doesn't really have an agenda other than that. Line my pockets, get more powerful. If anybody else that I step on, well, they obviously they deserved it because they didn't God didn't put them where I'm at. Some people feel like because they have money that God has chosen them, just because they have all this money. And they don't see it no other way. And you can't convince a wicked person, a truly evil person like that, to see it any other way. There's no convincing Trump or an Elon Musk that they are wrong.
Then you have shown who your God is. If you believe
Absolutely.
that you have been elevated to a certain position
Hmm.
because of the amount of money, you feel like the money
Yep.
is the reason you are there as opposed to what God has done for you.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. We know who your God is now.
Right.
But that's where I get frustrated when talking to others who still to this day or trusting in Trump. And I keep trying to tell them, okay, because 10 years ago you were making 60,000 and now you're making 180,000, you feel like you got a stake in this. Let me make this very clear. They have drawn the line, and if it is not over 395,000, you still are broke to them.
They don't see it that way. And the other misconception about America, which I hate, is all throughout school, they glorify people with money, whether these people are good people or bad people. And it's every now and again that they'll prosecute one or two people who are despicable to say, hey, slap on the wrist, you're bad. But for the majority of them, if they're super uber rich, this country glorifies rich people.
You mean like 34 fellas in it and not having to pay a fine, not having to do a
Absolutely.
day in jail or nothing for
Right.
34 felonies?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm.
I know exactly what you mean.
Right.
Or if you are Florida, if you are a Florida senator and you are taking underage girls across state lines, and they are sex workers or great or anyway, I can't say if they are working girls
Mhm.
and you're paying them to perform certain adult acts, but they are underage, that's okay,
Unless you're
right? You
Diddy
can still. Hmm?
or R. Kelly. Unless you're
Oh
Diddy or
yeah,
R.
yeah,
Kelly, then it's not
yep.
okay. Okay. Anybody else is
Hmm.
okay. Yeah.
See, Epstein's got
So
caught up. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Of course, Epstein met the end of a rope. Imagine
it,
the stories
it
that man
they
had.
released his report, the Epstein report. Trump in that too. They don't care.
Absolutely. All over there. He was
They
all over
don't
the
care.
island.
Still don't matter. But listen, I know we got to push on.
Yeah.
I really want to get the ball rolling on this because I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm kind of itching. I was itching to do this last week.
Okay.
Cheryl, fair or foul? Nelly's parenting decisions with daughters versus son. And before the people, you know, what the hell with that? Because I know y'all probably talked about it in your own homes amongst your own groups. Let's make sure we hear directly from Nelly himself,
Right.
and then we'll roundtable this joint.
Okay.
Let's get into this real quick. Nelly, come to the red table and talk to the folk, bro. Talk to the people. We need to hear from you.
Home and I fucked up because I told my daughter, yeah, baby, don't worry about it. You can always come home. You always got a room. My son, he can come home, but he get the couch. Eventually, he got to get the fuck out. He got to. He a man. You got to go. You can always come home, and sometimes it may not shit when shit don't work out. I ain't knocking that because you got to get back up on your feet. You know what I'm saying? But just know, nigga, this is temporary. Right. You know?
Shout out to Spiritual Word for that content.
Yeah.
But I heard this and I read comments, and I ain't gonna lie to you, it turned into the battle of the sexes from what I was reading.
Mm.
So that being said, y'all lead the way.
Well, I will start it off because people say that all the time. Well, I grew up in the hood. Well, when you turn 18, you 18, boy or girl, you gotta go fend for yourself. I didn't do my girls like that. I did not. Because when you're that young, you got one foot in adulthood, one foot in childhood. And when you're in your 20s, you are literally, that's the area where your parents should still provide a safety net for you, whether you are a boy or a girl, because life can hit a young man just as hard as a young woman. And it's not to say that he's getting any more high school education than she is. It's not like he's getting any more life experience between, I'm going to say, 18 to 25-year-old black woman or a black man. And you're going to say to your son, who happens to get out there and he's 23, and what if he does lose his job or whatever the case may be, and then he has to come back home? Are you going to say, hey, you can only catch that couch for 3 months and I'm going to need you to get the fuck up out of here? But your daughter come home that same time period. Oh no, baby, I got you. I'm gonna put you up in the bedroom. You can stay long as you want to. You don't have to pay no bills or nothing. Just work, save your money. But you, son, you got to get out here and do something different. And think about it. People go through divorces in life and everything, and they fall on hard times. And they have to end up or lose a job and end up back home with the parents. Men go through this too, not just women. So why would you put your son out and give him less of an opportunity than your daughter. I think it's unfair parenting. I think it's a double standard. I think that most parents need to let that mentality go, because you don't know what type of help they may need beyond financial. It may be some other things going on health wise, mental wise, what has happened in the life, the trans in this life to for you to transition back to my house and me to put you out just because you're a man. You're a man. You got to get out. I don't get it. I really don't. And maybe y'all can help me with this, because I raised 3 daughters and I would not do that to my daughters. Not to say that my daughters can stay here forever and ever and ever and ever, because they will see me run around here naked and eventually I'm gonna have me a man. I don't know about what they doing over here. But from that perspective, we all have our own lives. So we don't want our adult
Right.
kids here forever and ever and ever. But
So
I would definitely have them here to help them out, but it would be a balance thing. If I had a son and a daughter, I'm not going to say something different for my daughter than for my son. Why would I not help my son if he was in dire need? Why would I not do
so
that?
so I'm gonna be honest with you when it comes to Nelly. I have I don't put a lot of stock in his cognitive abilities to make common sense based on based on his reason for doing what he did as far as performing for
Trump.
he who shall not be named. Uh, however, this is another example of just dumb shit right here, right? Number one. All right. So first of all, and this is something I don't know, but I'm just gonna bet if it was Jerry Jones, he would kick his kids, his sons out and tell him to hit the road, or no, because as a matter of fact, he provided jobs for his son, right?
Who is Jerry
And then his
Jones?
kids. Oh, Jerry
Oh,
Jones is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I
Oh,
wouldn't know that.
so Bishop Jakes, I know. I don't think he has kicked any of his kids out or would. They still have. Oh, they come back home. So Puffy, as vilified as he is, his sons are grown as hell, but they still have homes he has provided, right? So I think it's small thinking. And then I'm not quite sure if he's done any intentional parenting to actually know where his son's strengths are, so that when you do walk out that door, son, I'm going to be secure in knowing that you can make it.
Right.
I'm not quite sure that's where his thought process is. And so I would question a lot about that. That's just me. I'm just, hey, I ain't the biggest Nelly fan.
Clearly.
so I have a response to all of that.
Okay.
And I got to talk about a commercial break though, because I'm gonna bring it.
Okay.
Okay.
And commercials.
Roll that with a beautiful bean footage.
Roll the beautiful bean.
Excuse me.
Roll the beautiful bean footage. Okay.
Tired of your resume getting ignored? Wouldn't it be great to have a resume that stands out? Job seekers are getting ghosted due to ineffective resumes. Meet 1-800-RESUMES LLC. They create ATS-friendly resumes that appeal to both robots and humans, ensuring you get noticed. How it works. They customize your existing resume to match job qualifications by optimizing keywords the ATS looks for. Plus, preparation for interview questions increases your chances of landing the job. With 1-800-RESUMES, you'll experience more interviews, better job matches, and confidence in your application process. What our customers say. Sounds exciting? Call 1-877-520-4040 for superpowered resumes.
Looking for great music and dope podcasts? BWNC Radio is where it's at. Black with No Chaser Radio. Download the app now. Come for the dope podcast. Stay for the dope music. Also available on Apple stores and Google Play stores. Ross, you hell. Ross, you are hell. I just want you to know this.
Not the porn music.
Then he just comes in. This ain't the porn music I grew to know.
Oh Lord, you know what? Welcome to the show, Ross.
Oh my God, there go that porn. I swear, Ross, you hell. Anyway, man, listen. All right, so just to reiterate where we were, fair or foul, on Nelly's, I guess you could say, parenting style. I'm gonna replay that one more time for those of you who are just now joining the show.
Home and I fucked up because I told my daughter, yeah, baby, don't worry about it. You can always come home. You always got a room. My son, he can come home, but he get the couch. Eventually, he got to get the fuck out. He got to. He a man. You got to go. You can always come home, and sometimes it may not when shit don't work out. I ain't knocking that because you got to get back up on your feet. You know what I'm saying? But just know, nigga, this is temporary. Okay. But,
All right. So, here we go. I don't agree with shit Nelly ever says. Nelly is not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
No, yeah.
But on this one, I do.
You agree with him on this one?
I do. Here's why. And I agree from experience, not only with myself, but with others as well. Boys turn into men who start to smell themselves. Okay? Let's be clear. Boys turn into men who start to smell themselves. They start to feeling themselves. Okay? Independence is something we all crave. But in case y'all ain't been listening, let me help y'all, remind y'all too. Y'all was saying, what the fuck kind of men are y'all raising now? Let me help you out. See, a man is supposed to be the foundation, okay? When it comes to building a home, you can pick the color patterns, you can pick the furniture, you can pick
AR pistol,
the flooring. What is that? Oh, you can pick all the stuff that makes a home look beautiful. But the most important part of building a home is a foundation. Foundation determines the price and the value of the home. Am I correct, Jay?
Foundation, the roofing, yeah. So the foundation is messed up. It's gonna mess everything else up.
Everything else up. Okay. So your proper rearing of your son is for him to become the foundation for his home. Okay. As a father, I cannot botch this job. I can't. Botching that job also means if he goes out, strikes out on his own, comes up a little short, he needs to come back. I will always have a place for you to come back. But like Nelly said, you get the couch. I don't want you to get comfortable. You cannot afford to get comfortable. You have to eventually figure this out because you have to go and build your own. You have to be the foundation.
So he can't sleep in a bed because he got to find his own foundation?
Hey, no. I'm not trying to make anybody. The point is you use it as a metaphor. I guess the couch is a metaphor. I don't want him to be comfortable here.
But your daughter can. Your daughter can stay forever.
My daughter and my son, I'm responsible. I'm a sworn protector for my children, but more so for my daughter. I had to teach him how to fight for himself.
But she don't need to know how to fight.
He has to learn how to become a protector in his own right. I'm gonna teach her how to fight, but he has to learn how to become a protector. It's a different level to it. And I can't teach him how to become a protector if I'm always fighting his fights for him. He will never know what an ass whooping feels like. He won't know how to get back up when being knocked down if I'm always there to pick him up.
That's the double standard. Right. So your daughter can get knocked out and never ever have to leave the house again.
She can
fall down, and then you're going to tell her, Don't try no more, baby. Come home, stay home for as long as you want
No,
to.
no, 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 no.
Why
Let
put?
me be clear, because I didn't get to my daughter yet.
Yeah, about to say, because
Let
that's like, why
me
would
be
you
clear.
teach your daughter to
I didn't
be
get to my daughter yet.
and not your son? Like,
No, no, no,
okay,
no, no. Let me be clear. I didn't get to my daughter yet. See, I've always taught my daughter to do things for herself,
okay,
just in case she found somebody who's not foundation built. You still need to know how to do it for yourself. But when you
right,
find a good man, you won't have to. So you need to know how to play another role instead of playing his role. That's what a lot of men and women start bumping heads, is because we feel like, because we can do the same thing. Like, all right, well, where's the give and take in it? Where do I fit in at as a man? What do I fit in? Let a man be a man. Let a man be a man.
I was
That's
married
great
for
that you know
25
how to.
years and I let a man be a man and he still run off to be a man for someone else. So make
That's
it make
going
sense.
off.
Does that
I'm not. Every
mean
man ain't built like that.
does that mean that I go home to my mom and daddy's house and never try again in life?
I never said never try again.
Not that I
You know
moved back
what?
in with my parents. I didn't never move back home. So uh I kept going. You know what I mean? I kept going in life. But you know, the way Nelly worded that is like, nah, my daughter can stay for as long as she wants to stay for, but not my
I think
son.
he cut off a part because he said he kind of fucked up when he said that. No parent really means that. They don't want you, like you said, we don't want you here forever. No, hell no.
Right.
I'm trying
Mhm.
what Craig parents said, me and your mama walking around naked.
Right.
Balls going one way, Johnson going the other.
Right.
Just doing the balls Johnson dance. That's what we trying to do. But the message gets
Absolutely.
delivered a little more nicer to your daughter. Because if she doesn't feel like she can trust you, rely on you, she will run to someone else. If she
How about
hasn't
your
learned,
son?
if she has,
Will your son do the same?
What would
Another
he do?
father figure,
Yeah.
the whole
you
point of
know.
your son is you have to be the anchor. You got to be the foundation. There is nobody else to pick you up. I'll be here to back you up, but
Right.
do not get comfortable. Also, from this standpoint too, because again, I'll say this: in going through a divorce and in having my home situation tainted by a slumlord, I had to stay with my father, and I've had to stay with my father-in-law.
Mm.
Let me tell you something. It becomes uncomfortable. If you are an
Yeah.
alpha male who's built with foundation mentality, it becomes uncomfortable for you.
Mm.
I don't want. I'm
Mhm.
used to walking around with no shirt on. I'm used to walking around in my drawers. I'm used to doing without, because it was my house. I built this. I started. This is
Right.
my process. Having to come back under your roof, I am already uncomfortable because now
Right.
I got to play by your rules again.
But whoa, what if it is your roof? But what if it's, you know what? We have another house. We have a guest house. We
I
have
don't.
another
It ain't
property.
mine. You
It is
you got to
yours.
understand. Even in a guest house, when we doing what we doing up in this guest house, guess who can still hear it? The people in
In
the
the
other.
guest house, that's a whole different house. They can't
It's
Hey
a
hear
whole
man,
that.
different house.
you know you
They
can
It's
hear.
can't
a
hear you in
whole.
the
You know you can hear
Yeah,
your
I ain't
neighbors.
wait.
gonna be able to hear you
You
in
know
the
you can hear your
past
neighbors.
the pool.
I cannot hear my neighbors.
Shit.
But what
I
else? Okay,
But what I'm
cannot
so
hear
saying
my
is,
neighbors, baby.
so
you
if
know
you
how,
have a
and
rental
also, not
house,
only this, you know how you could be at the house sometimes, you be chilling
Mm.
and you don't want people to come over.
Absolutely.
Who the fuck gonna stop that if you staying in the guest house with your parents?
Oh my goodness.
They coming anytime they want to.
No, they not.
The hell they not. See, you being so sweet about that. I'm telling you, there are invasive parents out there that do not care. They also feel like because they own the property, they got a key. They gonna walk in when they feel like it too.
Well, I guess it goes back
I'm
to
just
like you
saying,
said, the foundation. Because,
yeah,
like I said, I didn't go back home after I divorced. I had enough saved. Praise God, I had savers. I had a 401k. I had enough to go, start my life. My brother is another example. My youngest brother, he's never come back home. He went to college, Jackson State, at 17 years old, 18 years old,
Mhm.
and he went in the military. He got married. They got 2 kids. They fallen on hard times. Not once. Not once. And trust
right.
me, it's been some tough, tough, tough times they have been through. Not once did my brother say, me and my
Well, I
family,
can
yeah,
say the first time, like I said, what happened to me ever was I went through a divorce,
mhm,
and when I left her, I had my truck and a tub of clothes. So yes, I went back to my parents because I had to get back on my
But look
feet.
how old were you? Let's put this into perspective.
I was 26
Right.
and I had two babies on the way, not one. See, that wasn't my situation is very, but I had two babies on the way, so I got to go get it. I can't afford to sit here
Mm-hmm.
and let my father do it. I have two children on the way,
Right.
and I have a woman who I love very dearly. I have to go get who's carrying my one of my children. I have to go. I have to make this. I ain't got time to sit around here
Mm-hmm.
and be coddled. You see what I'm saying? Like as the man that my father raised me to be, I'm not gonna let you even let. I'm not gonna let myself get comfortable here. I don't need my own any of this because I'm going to
Excuse me.
get my
Sorry.
own. But I just need a place to land, like he said. I need a soft place to land because it hurt like hell when the ground evict. I mean, when the world evicts you. I need a soft place to land. Let me get back on my feet so I can get back to it. I
But I
moved
think you can
in.
do
I
that
do
without
agree.
coddling. I think that's the part. We don't. No man expect. No grown man, even when he goes back to his, they don't expect to be coddled. At least I would
Mm-mm.
hope not.
No, not at all.
If you've been raised, like you said, if you got the foundation where you were raised by a man and you understand the rules of being the provider and the protector, even if you had to go back home for a little while, you don't expect to be coddled. And hopefully you don't expect to be coddled. I know those are those situations where you have mama's boys and they're been able to be enabled for whatever reason by whatever member of the family. I know we have those kind of men. This ain't who we talking about unless that's the kind of man you raising.
Look, that's the way. The only way I can see it is based on, like I said, what he was saying, and that what he is saying should counter a lot of the stuff that you hear on social media when they ask what kind of men are you raising. Okay, nobody's perfect. Everybody's
Right.
not gonna get it right the first time you strike out. Cool. And he never said his son is never welcome to come back. He can always come back. I'll always be here for you. But don't get comfortable. You got to get up and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go and
So,
establish your own. Because at some point
so
in time, I'm not going to be like you even mentioned up
mhm.
about Diddy's kids. Yeah, they got set up nice and this and that, but I bet they didn't expect to have their daddy snatched out of their life just like that.
Absolutely not.
But
Nope,
because
they
they
didn't.
learned what they learned from him, they ain't hurting for nothing.
Mm-mm.
And
Mm-mm.
his daddy had money taken, assets frozen, but them kids
Mm-hmm.
are good. They
Mm-hmm.
figure things out. They learn to hustle for themselves. They
Mhm.
straight, and that's what you want for your children.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yep.
have to be, because when you think about it, J-Hawk, as a husband, as a
Mhm.
father,
Mhm.
if y'all lose that house, who's the person that they're gonna look to and say what
Me.
happened?
Me.
Even though you and your wife are there, they're
Mhm.
always gonna look to the man and say, how did you let that happen?
Yep. Absolutely.
So I know you mentioned double standards earlier, Cheryl,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the way the world works. They're never going to come for the woman and say, how did you let this happen? They're always going to start with the husband, with the father.
You
So that's
know.
why I have to treat him differently, a little bit differently. It is no less love involved, but I have to treat him a little bit differently than I would my daughter, because you are the last line of defense, son. You
Well, in
can't.
the way today's standards working, your daughters may not end up with husbands either.
Yeah.
So
So.
I'm just saying the way the
again,
dynamics
again,
of
I'm preparing
relationships
her.
going nowadays.
I'm preparing her. But we've already had our conversations too. That whole 18 and grown. No, you ain't got to go nowhere. You gonna learn to
See.
grow up,
Right,
but you do not have to immediately move out this house.
right.
So I
What
have
I
a
was.
basement. If you would like to stay here, that's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna learn what rent and bills are, because whether you
Absolutely.
stay here or not, you're gonna have to deal with those.
My two of my daughters are staying here. My oldest and my youngest. My middle daughter is married, of course, so she's with her husband and they have their own life, right? But my oldest and my youngest live here with me now. Um, Now, do I love them? Absolutely. Can they stay forever? No, no. Not that I'm about to put them out or anything. I'm not. They're building, they're saving to build whatever life they want to build, right? And I'm going to give them the space to do that because my children don't, my other two don't have husbands. Like they're home, they're here with me. So I'm going to provide them the space they need to thrive, right? To be as
Mhm.
successful as possible. Now, my youngest daughter just turned 21. She just graduated college. She's still looking for her big girl job, her first big girl job, right? So we know we're not about to push her out to the wolves. And my oldest
Right.
daughter is going through a life transition herself. So it's like, okay, yeah, you gotta make space for your kids. They do need soft places to land, built toward forward to. Very true.
And
And
so because his world is changing and the
mhm,
expectations, and then black kids have a target on their back, whether you're a boy or a girl, man,
right.
a young man or a young woman. So I think for me, if my son, and I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if my son's gonna make it out the house. If I gotta build a house for him or not, I don't know. Because I just don't know for my son. However, for my son or my grandkids or whatever who happen to come back, if they're coming back with me, they know coming back has to come with responsibilities. And it's going to be me out being your business. It's going to be like, okay, look, if you're here, we got what went wrong, what happened, what plan are we going to put in place, how long are you going to be here?
I
And
love
then
it.
we are transitioning on. It's a plan in place, right?
Right.
We're sitting down, we're discussing. I'm keeping you on track with your plan in place. How much are we saving? What are we doing? What
Mhm,
did you go?
right.
What do you need to do to retool to get back into the job market if you're
Right.
completely out? How do we do this? You going back to school? Okay, so
Mhm.
this is what we need to do. What are your grades looking like? I'm gonna be so because
Jayhawk,
that's
can I be
dad.
honest with you? Now,
That's
what you're
dad.
doing right now, I don't
Mhm.
think enough parents are doing. I
Right.
will come to the black community. I don't think enough of us are having these conversations with our adult children.
And we
Yep.
have to.
We definitely need to. To your point, when you talk about age, Cheryl,
Mhm,
my first time, I graduated June of 2001.
mhm.
I signed my first lease July of 2001. I was
Wow.
18 and I got my own apartment. Um, I did it for a specific reason, we'll say, and it didn't work out. Okay. Um, End up having to let the apartment go. Pops say, you can come back. But the crazy part is when I signed the lease,
Mhm.
Pops cut me off the insurance immediately. I was 18.
Uh,
So he
that's
was like, all
a
right, you got
lot of
your
risk.
pants on, you out there now.
Mhm.
But what's up,
What's
Jimmy
up,
man?
Jimmy?
We in here talking about the parenting situation with Nelly.
Yeah, I mean
But
the goal of a father, and I got this from a brother from the Nation of Islam,
Mhm,
um, and he said the goal of a father is to make sure your kids go farther in life than
mhm.
you did, and so you have to protect that. You have to reteach the problem. If they missed it, you need to reteach and make sure they get out there so they can push them further. You don't want them making the same mistake. Because if every generation has to start over again, we're not progressing. We're in the same place. So
Right.
and
we
it's time
have
we
to put
change
our
it.
kids, we got to put our kids in a better position, but we have to teach them how to take that position and go further and
Mhm.
protect what they build and do the same for the next generation. I think that we don't do enough of that in our community.
Right.
And watching that Nelly clip just proved it to me that
I'm a
he doesn't have a clue.
I'm gonna run it back real quick for you, Jimmy. Because I'm
Yeah.
definitely want to hear your input on. We appreciate you joining tonight, bro.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Home and I fucked up because I told my daughter, yeah, baby, don't worry about it. You can always come home. You always got a room. My son, he can come home, but he get the couch. Eventually, he got to get the fuck out. He got to. He a man. You got to go. You can always come home, and sometimes it may not when shit don't work out. I ain't knocking that because you got to get back up on your feet. You know what I'm saying? But just know, nigga, this is temporary. Right. You know?
So yeah, I don't with the philosophy in itself is what he's talking. I don't disagree with Nelly on it. Delivery,
Mhm.
but again, it's Nelly. But the philosophy of it, I cannot. I have to be more harder on him, on my son, than I have to on my daughter. I'm gonna teach the same lesson, but I'm gonna teach it a little bit tougher on him.
I think girls are more mature than a lot of the boys are their age. And I think they also need the exact same harsh treatment and lessons because
Mm-hmm.
they need to have within them what they are going to attract in a man, right?
Right.
So it's not just looking at daddy and saying I want a man like dad. It's having some tools, some traits, because like attracts like in humans, right?
Mhm.
Not so much in science, right? Opposites attract. That's just for science. But birds of a feather flock together. Whatever she has innate to her, she's going to attract. So I need to also input. This is something I've learned throughout my life, and I got to this point, and I wish I can go back and input some things to my girls. Wish I had done more in this, but I just didn't know, right? And so when it comes to, I think both need that. If you're gonna come back home, baby, come back home. But we're gonna talk about
Right.
what it's gonna take for you to get out on your own and be successful. All right. You always have a place here, but do you really want to be here with me and your mom? Because you come back home, you got a curfew. You come back home, you got, it's some things that I'm gonna put in place. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but you can
Right.
come back home, but we're gonna discuss and plan and strategize and we're gonna plot how to get you back on your feet, because the whole purpose of you being an adult is to be an adult, a
Yeah.
productive adult.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I fear. I fear
Listen,
that for our girls, we send them out into the world still with a bit of rose color glasses on. And with the sons, we rip the band-aid off early with them because we need them to know that they're the provider, they are the protector, right? And for our girls, sometimes they're ill prepared because they still have that kind of fucked up mentality that it's a savior out here to save me if I can't make it on my own. And I think we need to dispel that. Okay, what Jimmy say? I
I
raised
grew
my
up without a
son.
father. I raised
Mhm.
my son in a way that I felt I was missing, and most do. Um,
Mhm.
I grew up with my father, and I still raised my son in a way that's still a little bit different from what he taught me, because there were some things that I know I needed, and he didn't know how to. See, my parents had me early. Again, when you the firstborn, you the test baby. So
You know,
Mhm.
you the test child. They
Mm,
really. We know parenting does not come with an instruction manual, but you are
mm-mm.
definitely the test child as the first one.
Yep.
Yep.
They develop an instruction manual after you.
Yep. Oh, this is where I fucked the kid up here. Let's try
Right,
this.
right, right.
Like I
Oh,
tell
I
people,
dropped him on his head this way.
Mhm.
Let's not drop the other one.
I tell people a bit. So the funniest thing, I'll be quick with this. So the
Mhm.
funniest thing in the world was the sex talk.
Mm.
And the sex talk
At
with my
least you got
father,
one. I
who
didn't get one of
again
them.
was a minister,
I found out the hard way.
Oh Lord.
but my father's a minister, so it's already, you know.
Mm.
And so I washed my own clothes by the time I was, 12, 13 years old, whatever. I'm
Mm-hmm.
washing my own clothes. I forgot I left my clothes in the dryer. So I come back to get them. Damn, I washed my wallet. And, we had them faux leather wallets back then,
Mm.
them trifold joints.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
anyway,
don't tell me your prophylactic fell out.
now it didn't fall out, but you know that faux leather shrunk. And you can
Oh,
see
yeah.
that circular. I forgot I left it done. So anyway, I'm getting dressed for a football game. I think I'm proud of 14. So, I'm in junior high still. I'm not on the high school squad, but I'm going to a high school football game, and I'm cleaned up, decked down. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Got my Tommy Hilfiger on with my Timbs. I know what it is. Can't nobody tell me shit.
Fresh.
Pops, when I tell you I saw Kevin Hart skit before he ever presented it, I saw it in my own father. He was driving. What do you keep looking at? You got your wallet with you, huh? Yeah. Saw your wallet. Okay. You you know what to do with that? My response at 14. I get the gist of it. His response, this is the sex talk. Okay. Don't bring no babies home. The end.
Oh,
That was sex talk.
That's
oh
it.
Lord.
That was sex
Yeah.
talk.
My parents did not. Well, my parents didn't have a good. I look.
Ross,
Not
you weren't
none
the
at
firstborn, but you were the
all.
firstborn son. That's why.
So, matter of fact, I had a better sex talk with my instructors in college. That didn't sound right, but
Yeah.
it didn't sound right.
Yeah.
What kind of sex
Yeah.
talk you and the professors had now?
Well, I'm glad you said that. Well, I took this class at Alcorn called the Family, and Dr. Carolyn Abdullah
Time out. So
was
you had the sex talk with a professor while at
she,
Alcorn.
at Alcorn. Well, it was. So let me go ahead and get more in depth. Okay.
I'm sorry, I was just going to be a Jackson State petty person right there for a minute. My bad. Go ahead.
It's okay because I graduated from Jackson State. I started Alcorn. I finished up at Jackson State. So
Good job. Good job.
okay.
Oh my
Right.
goodness.
So, but no, what she did was she had a class called the Family, and her whole purpose was to make sure that because all the kids were black men and black women, that we understood each other. Because she's like for so long, we go to mass, we go to mosque, we go to masjid, we go to church, we go to wherever. We're brothers, we're sisters, we're husbands, we're wives, we're grandparents, uncles and aunts, but we don't know each other, and that's what she sought to erase that line that was between us. And so for a couple of weeks, a part of that class had to do with sex. And she was like, this is something that she's going to teach us. So what she did was
Oh.
it was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. Monday, I believe the fellows came. Wednesday, the girls came. Then we all met again on Friday. And so for the fellas, she had things like, how to tell, how to look at a woman and tell what kind of vagina she has by her face, by the shape of her face, how her eyes are, how you can tell.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Different parts of your body correspond to different other parts. As a matter of fact, Granny, you can take your shoe off right now. If you put it, I guarantee you it'll fit between your from the wrist to your elbow. If you took your shoe off, I bet it will perfectly fit. And so I can always tell
what will perfectly fit
your shoe.
Your shoe will fit from your wrist to your elbow.
Yeah, it will. So you can always tell
right here.
Yeah, put it on the inside. Take your shoe off. Put it right here.
No, because the shoes I have on are really big ass house shoes. They will not work.
Okay, well, your regular shoes. So what happens is so you can tell what a woman is like just by looking at different other parts of her, and so that lets you know how compatible you could probably even be with her. So these are kind of things that she taught us how to perform. Whatever, right? She gave us lifesavers. We were in class practicing on lifesavers, right? How to be able to do that. She took parts of the Kama Sutra.
So what were you practicing on a lifesaver? Because you skipping too many details, sir.
I was like, how do we go from shoes to elbow to practicing on lifesavers?
Shoes,
What we doing here? Wait a minute.
Yeah, lifesavers.
A lot of shit in there.
Yeah, for cunnilingus. For eating pussy. So that's what
for cunnilingus. That's what the lifesaver was for. She was teaching y'all how to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey man, this sounds very idiot-ish. I'm just
It
sounds very idiot-ish. Well, let me tell you how I learned sex.
Sounds like it's a lot of room in here.
My mom didn't tell me, and my dad didn't tell me, but my aunt, I had an auntie that used to read books. I started reading. I always loved to read, but I started reading those romance novels when I was in the 8th grade. And those romance novels are fucking smut. Okay? They are smut, and you learn about all kinds of craziness. But what really blew my mind is in a mind y'all, those books had me having sex like way too early in whole of life. But anyway, I got married and I stumbled across the Kama Sutra. when I was about 19 years old. I stumbled across the Kama Sutra, and I was so fascinated with all of the different tantric positions that are
Mm-hmm.
in that book. And I endeavored for a little while to try to get in some of those positions. And I just found Schmex so fascinating after that that yeah, I started smiling. We didn't
Colin,
discuss.
Oh,
Colin,
yeah.
Colin.
We didn't
Exactly.
discuss
Hey, bro, I
it.
went to Texas State, but damn self, I don't remember. I mean, okay, we wasn't necessarily being taught by then, but I mean,
Me and Viv were at Alcorn, so that lets you know.
They were out. They were wilding.
hey,
Okay.
we was
But
in the
yeah, that
street.
Kama Sutra led to like me learning about other forms
Mm-hmm.
of
Yep.
technique and different things to do within the relationship to make it more enhanced. And then I
Mm-hmm.
may be a different breed of female, but I think it's all about the experience
Mm-hmm.
with that. And of course, I'm happy I had all those books back then. It taught me my vocabulary was huge, believe it or not, in high school because of the books that I was reading back then. So that's how I learned about sex. And I think a lot of women, as you can say, we're more mature in that area because we do start reading and we get into shit like that. I did know a couple fellas who did also read romance, but it was a secret thing. They didn't read it, like their friends didn't know they read it or anything like that. They'd be judged. That
Yeah,
darn
they'd be
Jimmy
judged
said, "Damn,
harshly.
I started at Colin. We didn't discuss any of this."
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was amazing. Something, but see, I didn't have this kind of conversation with. I guess my dad could have said something, but that was but yeah, it was.
They did not talk to us
Thank
about
you,
that
and
stuff.
and no, it wasn't Diddy-ish. As a matter of fact, she did give us some.
It
She
just
gave us
sounds
some.
like a little grooming had taken place. I mean,
Well, we weren't practicing on her. No, she was just
But
like,
still, that
no, I
was
mean, but still
wow.
being trained on how to do this.
In a
yeah.
college classroom with the professor on the lifesaver. What did the girls practice on? Goodness.
But they had bananas. They had all kinds of stuff. Yeah, from what I understand from the girls, they had bananas. They had different other things that they learned. But then again, remember we had two different Mondays. We came Wednesdays. The girls came. Then we got together on Fridays. This was for 2 weeks.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
Well, there's
so.
that. And I don't know how with that.
Mhm.
Maybe we need to talk about this on the next show. How to broach this subject with our
Mhm.
children. Now, my girls are adults, and I had this conversation flat out. I did not pull. I
Why
didn't beat
was my
around the
teacher
bush.
bisexual? What are you talking about?
We talked about sex. We talked about it because
No,
when
I don't think so. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
is that
I
because
was.
she taught boys anger? Ross, chill out, man.
yeah, right. You see my face? I'm like, what? Huh? Yeah. I did have to talk with my girls because I need them to know, especially going out to college. Let me tell you something.
Mhm,
We all have feelings. We all gonna get hot in
mhm,
the pants. You're gonna go to college. You're
mhm,
gonna try some stuff. You absolutely gonna try some
mhm,
stuff. Make
mhm,
sure you're wearing protection. If you go in the room with a guy and he don't have no protection or he don't want, I don't care what you got to do to break up out that room. You get your ass up, butt ass naked. Now I don't care. Get your little stuff. Do like this. What? Snatch that mic out. You know how he did on Steve Harvey did when he was reenacting the Titanic when the shit was going out. I need you to snatch all that shit up off the floor and go ahead on and walk down the hall. Just go and leave. Could go on leave because he ain't gonna respect you if he can't put on no condom. Get up out of there. Don't bring me no
mhm,
grandbabies. Do
mhm,
not bring me
mhm.
no
Oh,
grandbabies early. And this is what you need to do to protect yourself. And I would always tell them, don't ever end up in a room with a guy. Don't put yourself in a position where you have to make that decision
mhm.
in the
Another
first
thing I
place.
taught my
You know,
girls was if you have a drink and you walk 3 feet away from that drink, that is not your
just
drink
leave it.
anymore.
Just leave it. Don't
That
even
is
come
not your
back to
drink
it.
anymore.
Right.
That drink belongs to whatever. That is not
Mhm.
your drink. If you walk away, if you go dance and come back, that's not your drink anymore.
Well, you got to
If
be
you
careful
turn,
now
mhm,
when you dancing or if you at a table with your drink. Make sure you have your hand over your cup because nowadays they can easily lean over there and pop a little pill up in your
that's
stuff
right.
when you're not
You're right about
looking and
that.
all that. So
You're
you
right
really
about
got
that.
to protect your drink.
Hmm.
Or do like me, bring your own shooters in the club when ain't nobody looking. They sell them. You can put them in your bra and stuff.
Okay, teaching tricks.
Right. You know, they sell the little shooters and you could put your own little liquor in it and stuff. And you could just like keep it, you know, put it somewhere so that you can take it in the club
Where
with
we
you.
gonna put him? Well, where we gonna put? Hey, that's why we
I
drink
said a
before.
shooter, not a goddamn bazooka.
Hey,
God dang.
because what you don't want to run into is somebody like this.
I'm like, I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
We
You
leaving
don't
here
want
with
that.
something. Okay.
You don't want that.
Mm-mm,
Not at all. But
mm-mm.
that's the short thing. What else we want to talk about tonight? Oh yeah, I did have this one announcement. It may mean something to you. It may not. The price of eggs dropped. You're welcome. I
Did it?
did it. It was me. It was me and my infinite wisdom in the universe that I was able to lower the egg prices for you
You
guys.
did?
You're
You did
welcome.
that,
I did.
Cheryl?
I did that.
Well, okay.
Well, I think folks just stopped eating eggs for a while. They was like, "Shit, this
Hell
is,"
yeah.
I was like, they
Oh
making
yeah.
life decisions. Egg sandwich or gas in the car.
I found the cheat code. I found the cheat
What's the
code. Let me
cheat
see
code?
if I
What's
can
the
show
cheat
y'all my
code?
cheat
Don't say
code.
powdered eggs.
No, no,
You
no, no,
better
no,
not.
no, 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 no. It definitely ain't that. So I cooked Sunday. Your boy did. I went down and did my thing.
Congratulations.
And
What is this?
Pillsbury makes cornbread muffins.
Jimmy, I thought he said he had got his hands on some MREs. That's what I thought he
You
was
say
gonna
that?
say.
Eggs? Eggs? No, this has nothing to do
Because
with me.
cornbread requires eggs. I was like, I refused because I made cabbage. I was like, I'm gonna try this out. Yo, it works.
Well, I'm gonna brag a little bit because my brother owns chickens and I got eggs for free. Praise God and hallelujah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's what
It
our
was a
folk
big
used to
deal.
do back in the day.
Right.
We had my grandparents had chickens. We never really bought a lot of eggs because my
But you know
grandmother
what?
just yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
yeah,
That's still going back into what's kind of taking place with this whole, because I've heard a lot of the right wing say, instead of actually trying to empathize with the people of this country, they're saying, well, just get some chickens or just learn to do
raising
it
chickens.
yourself. Learn to do it. Listen, we have always had the mentality of learning to do stuff for ourselves.
right.
But as an overall country, do you understand we some spoiled fucking brats? No,
Absolutely.
everybody ain't ready for this life.
Mm-mm.
I ain't gonna even, and even with me saying we were taught to do, it's still a lot of us who ain't ready for that life.
Hell no. Do you know how hard it is to do a garden, to till a garden, to get up, to manage a garden?
And let me,
And
Ross,
I ain't even talking about the livestock right now. I'm not talking about the chicken and the pigs and the goats. I'm just
mm,
talking about the
a
garden
garden.
aspect.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't
Okay.
have a green thumb. But Ross, let me be clear. I walked in Publix, grocery store here, walked in Publix last week,
Mhm.
and my wife was sitting there. She started looking at eggs, and I was coming up a little bit further behind. And when I got close, white man was starting to come past you. I had paid, and I almost hit him because I wasn't paying. I was locked in. $10. My wife was like, shh, these people can hear you. And I said, the white man walked right on by smooth as he said, he ain't lying.
Right. $10. Who got to pay that?
It was
No.
$10 for a dozen brown eggs.
No, we're not doing it. That's not how
And
we live.
not the jumbo joint. It was some medium. No, it was
It was the
the large
regular
one.
ones.
The mediums was like 9.19 or something, and then the medium joints was 10.09. I was, ain't no $10.
Whoa. I was talking to a friend of mine and she was on the phone and she was trying to put her groceries up while she was on the phone with me. And the daggum bag slipped out of her hand and them eggs hit the daggum floor. And she just spent $10 on that whole dozen of eggs, all of them broken. She had to hang up. She was so upset.
I know
get
exactly how she was feeling.
Baby.
You saying baby. She was feeling like how that baby felt.
Oh, I love that. I love that freaking baby's face. Oh my goodness.
Just hurt.
I know. That baby
Just
came to this
hurt.
world like, why? Just why?
It's ghetto here. It's
You made me realize. Okay. Hey, listen, we
Not
all
lazy.
have
Oh
gotten,
my
I ain't
goodness.
gonna say like complacent in our lives, because life has always been about simplifying and making things a lot
Mhm.
easier. Work smart, not hard. That's the way of life. Ross, it
Right.
is what it is, dog. But some of us have to fit. Look, we don't have the uh that room now, that flexibility to rely on others now. Shit is at a point now where if you just want it done, you got to do it yourself.
Right.
And there's a lot of people. Listen, I talk to the elderly daily, dog. They are crying, hurting because they just cannot afford this. Imagine getting to a point of retirement. I spoke to this. I'm gonna be quick. 72 years old. She just retired. 2 years ago, she had retired. Buried her husband last year.
Dang.
And so now the only thing you have to rely on at 72 is your Social Security, and they trying to come for it.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, she has other properties because they made investments,
Hmm.
and something happened where she couldn't access certain things. So the only income she has is that set income with your Social Security. And that set income is not, it doesn't take into consideration the astronomical prices of life at this point in time. You trying to make really high $2, they're trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. That's where they at now, bro.
a dime and a nickel.
But we could hustle that up when we were 15, 16, 20 years old. At 72 years old,
That's the
wow.
winter of your life. You know what I'm saying? That's the, that's what, when the we supposed to have something by 72. He's supposed to be sitting down,
You're supposed to be.
but
Supposed to be.
this country also have entitlements that were supposed to be set aside for these people who have lived this age, and to see them about to be privatized or taken away and given up so that other people can get a tax break who make millions upon millions of dollars, I think is a disservice to every American.
Absolutely. It's a
And
disgrace.
and these people should be impeached at best and run out of office with a stick.
Okay, I'm gonna manifest that for you. It's coming.
Run out of office with a stick, with a big stick. Run them
Mhm.
all out of office. Let's
It's
start
coming. I
let's
think.
start with elongated muskrat first.
Oh my goodness. Well, on that note, because y'all know I don't want to rehash politics at this point in the show.
All right,
It
Politics.
yeah,
is
we gonna do
exhausting.
that.
It is exhausting. It really is. But we're gonna go ahead and get ready to close out
I,
tonight.
I have to do this for all hip hop heads. We have in a moment. Let me say this before I do this. Let me make sure I have this stuff right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So Dreamville Fest has been announced. Hip hop heads of old and new. Okay. And the lineup that is taking place, I believe, is April 5th and April 6th. April 5th and April 6th. I have to show you this because, good Lord, do y'all see this lineup? Lil Wayne with
Erica,
the Hot
my
Goods
girl.
and Big Timers.
Tim's Glow,
21 Savage,
Wale,
Party Next Door,
Coco.
Luda, Ari Lennox, Cheeky. This is all just on Saturday night. And then Sunday is your J. Cole, Erykah Badu, Tim's Glorilla, Jid, Wale, Coco John, Earth Gang. Listen.
All in one place at one time?
This is the final Dream Fest.
Where is it gonna be held at?
It is.
Probably
Dream
Atlanta.
Fest is out, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
Raleigh, North Carolina, April 5th and April 6th. Listen, even if you can't make it, I did find out it will be aired on Amazon Prime.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
have to renew Prime, because they were boycotting Prime. I froze all that shit. I have frozen my
I just
Prime.
wasn't spending.
Paramount
I
Plus.
wasn't buying nothing. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I forgot all about my subscriptions.
I paused all that shit. I
I
sure
think I
did.
actually need to still go and cancel my Walmart subscription.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I
Well, I
haven't
will be
ordered anything. It's just I completely forgot that it's coming out
still supporting the cause. Look at you, still supporting that company now.
unknowingly.
I'm gonna unpause
Unknowingly.
mine. I paused it because of the week that we boycotted Amazon. So I
Hey man,
paused Prime and all of that. I paused all that shit, all of it. But I'm gonna be in
unknowingly.
Dream. I'm gonna go to DreamCon, which is gonna be Houston, Texas, the last weekend in May.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I'll be able to make it to. That'd be nice to be able to go to Dreamville too, but I think they'll be like back. That'll
Hey,
be back to back
Mhm.
for me.
hey, I'm gonna be honest with you too. So I watched the one last year. I really would look. I didn't even realize it was this
Hmm.
close, at this time or whatever. I'm like, that's next month. Really, 2 weeks,
Yeah, and I
two,
already
3
got
weeks.
my thing planned for May
Mhm.
But
for my
they are thick out there. When I tell you, people about it, and the crowd is deep.
mm,
I watched the one last, and it blew my mind because I did not know.
mm.
I had no clue it had gotten that big. But shout out, props to J. Cole.
Mhm.
The fall off is coming. His last album supposedly.
Mhm.
But this is going to be the final Dreamville Fest. All hip hop heads, music heads alike. If you got it, I'm just gonna tell you right now, a 2-day pass is $300.
That's not bad.
But that's not bad for what all you getting to witness.
Right.
Me
Mhm.
personally, just to be able to see the Hot Boys, you got it. But I get to have all of that extra.
Hmm. True story. I saw the Hot Boys years ago when they were at the height of their career in City Park in New Orleans. Juvenile threw a free concert, and the Hot Boys were there. And that's when Little Wayne was very little. He was like 14. I think they had just started with the Hot Boys. It was him, Beachy, um, Juvenile.
That's not when they did that video for
Yeah,
Back That
that's when they
Thing Up,
did
was
the
it?
video for Back the Thing Up.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
okay.
I was
Yeah.
at that concert. It was amazing. Absolutely. The one of
I
the
Should we
went
be
to
should we be
actual
looking for you in the
concert.
crowd when we watch that
oh,
video
you
now?
can't catch nobody. The crowd shots are just. I was in the crowd, but it's like the way they're panning the camera, you can't see anything. But they were
I went to
pulling
a
girls
concert
up, on
when
the
it was
stage.
they came to Hattiesburg.
Hmm.
And I remember I worked in my father's restaurant. Shout out Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Pop Species. If you
Mhm.
know, then you know. Me and my cousin was set to get off work, and we got to go straight down the highway to get to this concert because he was at a I forgot what center it's called, but anyway, uh, get there, had a time of our life. We showed up, long tees, white reeds, bandana, the hot boy style for real. You feel me?
Right.
Because of course, this is like 99, 2000 for real.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is.
This is like I want to say this might have
It's
been like 98,
1999.
99, something like that.
Yeah.
So in when I get ready to leave, we are not dressed the same. I got my big silver chains because yes, I used to wear those back in the day. Got my big silver chains on with my shirt is gone. I don't know. Me and some girl got in the shirt. It I don't know. It was gone. But when you was at a Hot Boys concert, it was gonna be ass ever but well. So trust me. So we got the dancing, jokes, and yada yada yada. I have no idea where my shirt went. My cousin comes out of there. His shirt is off, but it's hanging out his back pocket. We jumped in the car to leave. Interstate speed limit is 65. We got pulled over for doing a 71.
Are you serious?
I got a ticket for doing 71 and the 65,
That's crazy.
leaving the Hot Boys concert.
They were waiting. They were
Hmm.
like, yeah,
Now,
we
y'all
got
couldn't
it.
wait to bust my bubble and blow my high. Little
There
did
you
they
go.
know I had law enforcement in the pocket. That ticket did not make it.
Hallelujah.
Won't he do it?
He did it. He did it. Yeah,
Look
we're
at
going to
this.
end the show on that note because I thought, because this right here, I actually started a job. DEI wood. We ain't worried about no DEI. And I'm tired. But it's been nice chatting with y'all. Any final words? Was at the Capitol Beach party?
Oh, you talking about the Texas Freak
Yeah.
Nick in Galveston?
Right.
So
So
go ahead, JL.
I was gonna say
Final
this.
word.
Love your kids, rear your kids. And it's never too late for intentional instruction as a parent.
Right.
Because guess what? We've only been to the age that we are, right? We've been to their age, but we're only as old as we are. We're going to continue to learn and continue to grow and evolve. And as you do so, the things you learn, the nuggets you learn, you're going to have to instruct the later generations so they can move farther. Because as a father, you want your kids to go farther in life, so I'll stop there. That's my 2 cents.
Last week, man, we had our episode of Dylan's Dialogue. She came back. Cole and I were on there. If y'all can go back and check that. We called it episode The Family Chat. Also, if you are watching, like this channel, subscribe to this channel. This channel will be organized. I am going through the organizational process. Well, not only will you find the 4040 network, but you will also find it seasoned. Sprinkle in with a little bit of the previous shows as well. But like I said, it'll all be sectioned out, sorted out. Come get, because there was a plethora of shows on the IMO Media Group. This is not just, this is home of the 4040 network, home of Dylan's Dialogue. It was the home of She Talking Tea, and those episodes are still there. Ladies' Night, which I'm actually planning on revamping. I'm gonna get with you, Cheryl, about that. But anyway,
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna probably have a Ladies' Night 3 coming soon, and we just gonna call this grown ass woman. You feel me?
I'm a
Grown ass woman. That's what we gonna do it. But anyway, so yeah, IMO Media Group. Go subscribe to the YouTube page, because we are no longer airing shows on Facebook. We will no longer be airing shows anywhere else outside of YouTube. But you can find us on the BU Social app, and Fanbase as well. So shout out to those Black-owned businesses as well. Oh, and the Brick TV. I just want to say what's up to y'all. I believe y'all got something special coming down the pipeline.
All right, Brick TV. That's a new one for me.
Yeah, Black-owned streaming app. I'll say it again. Black-owned streaming app. Educational and entertainment. All on one platform. All our stuff.
All right. Well, y'all check it out. Definitely follow the 4040 Network on YouTube. Subscribe, like. We are putting up content as time permits to all of those people out here who I admire on YouTube, who do an amazing job of this and who have made a career out of it. My hat's off to you. It is quite the undertaking, if y'all don't know. But definitely do those things. We thank you. I mirror what Jonathan said when it comes to parenting and being that foundation for our children, because we are still growing and learning too. I'm still learning so much. But thank you all for tuning in. Special shout out to Ross and to Jimmy, who commented and interacted with us tonight. Thank you all so much for that. We send our love. You all have a beautiful night until the next show, which will be next Tuesday. Our permanent new time is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can catch us on BWNC Radio, Black with No Chasers Radio, the following day on Wednesday, early in the morning, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Eastern Time, at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we push to all other streaming platforms the following Thursday. So we are out here. We are on here. Find us. Support us. God bless you all. Have a beautiful night. We're out. Bye.